Just a forewarning, I'm definitely not a professional when it comes to making videos. This is just a guy who loves cars as a hobby, and this is me just doing a bunch of video clips on my cell phone. Audio quality is going to be garbage, sorry. Editing is going to be garbage, sorry. But I figured if I just start making a video, maybe hopefully more people will start making them so you can see how the whole install process works. Yeah, pretty much it's just a whole bunch of clips, me going through and installing everything. Total time for me to install the airlift system was about 33 hours, and that included me stopping to take videos, me having to go back and redo the entire air management system. That alone took me about another 5 to 8 hours because I had to come up with a new game plan and then actually make that game plan happen. But overall, this was a really easy project, and you'll see how I did things. It works out pretty good for me. Hopefully this video will help you guys out. And we'll move on to the first clip. Working on the install for the airlift performance suspension on a 2016 WRX STI. I'm slowly doing this. I'm going to try and record this whole process because there are no install videos. So hopefully I can make one that's worth some type of value. Working on installation of the air compressor. I already have the manifold mounted. I made a little pedestal for this remotely mounted water filter. Over here is where the compressor is going to go. I opted to go without the compressor silencers. The customer support at Bag Rider said it helps. He said depending on how I feel about noise, it's kind of subjective on how well it actually works. And if I think it's too loud, I can always go back and add it. What I did is I got some thick rubber washers from my local Lowe's store. I'm gonna mount the compressor on top of that and see if those little rubber washers help dampen the vibration. So I'll let you guys know how that works out in maybe a review video, hopefully. But that's a little update. Alright, I decided to start weighing everything. Compressor and manifold and the MDF. I weighed it with my scientific bathroom scale. This whole piece, which is going to go in the back of the trunk, comes in at a total of 14.4 pounds. And I'll continue trying to weigh stuff. I got my tank mounted now. Not really sure how I'm going to try and weigh this. The tank itself is ultra lightweight. And this MDF board, not that heavy. It's probably like the weight of a gym bag with a change of clothes and a pair of shoes probably. But I'll try to weigh this and we'll see what that comes up to. Alright, I'm back. I managed to weigh this. I took the average of that with my scientific bathroom scale again. And the average of 3 comes out to be 23.8 pounds for the MDF and the tank. Alright, bad news. None of this is going to work. Put it in the car, and then I realized that somewhere I made a mistake in some of my measurements. So, tank fits in there nice and pretty, but my space in the back has gone down drastically. You can't really see. But I'm gonna have to try and figure that whole nightmare out now. Maybe on the side pieces I will mount the compressor management, all that stuff. Maybe I will put it in the spare tire well, but now I have to figure out what to do. All right, back to the drawing board. All right, I'm back. So I'm going to put all the air management stuff in the spare tire well. Not the original game plan, because I wanted to make this real easy, but it does turn out to be a positive. I weighed the stuff I removed in the spare trunk, in the spare tire well. So the tools, all the roadside stuff, obviously the wheel and tire. So I removed a total of 26.4 pounds minus the 14.4 for the original game plan that failed. So now I'm 12 pounds underweight, and I still managed to fit all the air management stuff. So I'll take you outside so you can see what it looks like. All right, so this is all the stuff that I removed. The foam piece is definitely going back in, just for hopefully a reduction in sound. Spare tire, jack, tire iron, toe ring, and then this guy's actually really heavy. I was actually surprised how heavy that actually was. But that's all gone now. New game plan is going to be compressor down here, management there, and I run the lines up through here. Alright, it was kind of dark when I finished up yesterday, but here is the new game plan. I'll show you in a second. Alright, once I remove some of my junk, you see how everything still fits flush underneath the foam. I have my setup for the compressor, which is already mounted, and the manifold. I'll be snaking the lines up through the back over here somewhere. Lighting's kind of trash right now, I apologize, but hopefully I can get some electronics and wires ran tonight. But that's the update. Alright, this is the setup. Here's a little schematic diagram of how everything's going to be connected. It might look intimidating to those who've never done anything like this, but honestly, once you break it down, it's very simple because, like I said earlier, everything on the wire harness is labeled. And then if you look at the picture, it has battery positive, ground, tells you how to hook up the add a fuse. There's a breakout of the relay that I showed you guys if you want to test it for whatever reasons. And it shows right here where the controller actually connects. It's very, very, very well laid out. Here's that connector that's going to go to the manifold. Compressor right here, we're going to have power and ground. This is very well laid out. And then, yeah, it shouldn't be hard for anybody to do this. So if you're worried at all, if you can read and you can comprehend, this should be very easy for anyone. So really, I feel like there's no need to take it to a shop to have it installed, unless you don't have, honestly, more like it, if you don't have the time or the tools. That'd probably be the only reason why you would want to take it to a shop. So far, everything's been working fantastic for me, minus the one setback where I don't know how to measure or cut wood, but that's on me. That has nothing to do with the product. This should be a really quick install. Alright, from the inside of the car, back seat region, looking in, I run all my wires under the seat there. I'll flip up this portion. It's going to come out here. I'm going to tuck it, not right there, but I'll show you in a second. So I'm going to run it from here, under, down through the door sill, under here, along there and up to this point. From here, I have to figure out how I'm going to route it through the firewall. I haven't gotten that far yet, but I'm just trying to get the lines routed through here. And then air lines on that side of the car are going to be ran over there as well. Then obviously air lines on this side of the car. I'm going to come down through here, under here, under the trim piece and the carpet, through there, and so I'm going to run under here up to the front wheel. Once I get it up to here, I'm going to have to figure out where I'm going to get it through the firewall at. Again, here's another shot of the rear looking forward. So electricity and controller management lines are going to be run through on this side, and airlines, and then just airlines on this side. All right, working on the trunk. Adding Stinger roadkill to a whole bunch of the trunk region. Some more over here. Some on the back. So the entire wheel well has Stinger on it. Roadkill. Still have a whole bunch more over here that I'm going to be adding also. So in total, it's going to be 2 sheets of that. And for reference, there's a pair of normal kitchen scissors. Hopefully this will help with some of the buzzing that most people already know comes from the top deck, the rear deck for the speakers. So I'm going to be putting a good portion up there, and then whatever's left after that gets covered, we'll start filling in some more gaps in here. And I'll just keep pressing on. Alright, everything is routed. Got all my air lines routed. Hoses are routed. This plastic piece right here, I had to modify it here to allow this airline to pass through for the front right strut. Everything else gets routed on this harness through here. I had to open this up a little bit more. And then these 3 connections that are going to go to the tank, I had to open up the space a little bit right here. And then on the inside, underneath I had to open it up to allow the passing through for the compressor line that comes up through here. So here's what it looks like. All the roadkill matting is on. So I'll put a bunch up here as well. Can't really see it. There it goes. But there's the progress so far. Alright, I put the carpet back in on top of the foam. This is what it looks like now that all the carpet is back in it. Super stock approach, what I was trying to go after. Minus these 3 lines. One is the compressor inlet to the tank. One of the lines is going to go from the tank down to the V2 management. And the 3rd line, which you can kind of see in the back, is going to go to the fill and drain on the bottom of the tank. These guys will be routed behind the tank. It's going to run this way and then into the side, the 2 of them. One for fill and then one to the V2. And then the middle one is going to come right in the center at the bottom of the tank. So when you look in, you should only see the tank and the lines will be hitting behind it. There's the progress on that. The only thing I got to do next is install the struts. I'm waiting on some fitments to come in, and we'll keep pressing on. Alright guys, got the bags put in. Just going to show you what I did for the air. Right here I installed some DEI, that fire shield tubing stuff.
can barely see it, but right here, this is it, all the silvery gold looking stuff. This, you can't see it, but if you follow back there, it actually leads to the trunk. I didn't want the heat from the muffler, which is right here, getting the airlines too hot. So just for added security, I put this on just in case. All I gotta do now is connect this to my elbow here, and we'll be ready to keep moving on.
All right, I have the front driver's side suspension out. Here it is next to the airlift bag and strut. The bag and strut is not completely set up. I still have to put it on the suspension on the front of the car, and then I have to cycle it full lowered and then fully maxed out, and then I have to set it for the middle. But we are making progress. All right, I have all the bags installed. You can kind of see it in there. It's in there, I promise. You can see the leader line right here. There's the bottom of the bag. Just a quick shot of the 91 Legacy SS, which is kind of cool. Little daily. Again, there's the other bag. You can kind of see it in there. You happen to notice that there is no wheel back here, but I have wheels on all the other ones. When I was taking the tire off, I noticed that there's a screw in it. So tomorrow morning I'm going to run down to the local tire shop and I'm going to get that tire fixed, put it on. Got the car on some 2x10s, so when I calibrate, I don't want the potential of the body hitting the ground, so I'm gonna have the car up on here. Right now I have them on jack stands because there is 0 psi in these bags at the moment, but I'll show you what happens as we calibrate. Alright, this next video clip is not really the car being calibrated. I totally spaced out and I totally forgot to record that whole process. This is actually me just messing with the manual mode where you can just go in, push the buttons, and it'll go up, it'll go down. In this next clip, it's actually going to be full up. This full up setting, it ended up being one of my presets. Full up, I forgot what the PSI is exactly, but it is 1.5 inches over stock in the front and 1 inch over stock in the rear. And then I dump it to 10 psi in the front and 20 psi in the back, and that's like a 3.5 inch drop in the rear and 2.5 inches in the front. I could go way lower, but honestly I drive this car almost every day. Yeah, like I said, there's a ton of adjustability, but I actually drive this car, so it doesn't only see shows. So I wanted to have a ride height that worked. I didn't want to have to go so low to where I had to modify the fenders. In the next clip, when it's fully down, I actually have about 1 inch left to go lower in the front and in the rear without having to modify the splash plastic guard thing on the inside of the fenders. If you're willing to take that out, you're willing to hack things up, make more room, you could definitely go way lower. All right, next clip. you see the stock springs and struts. I used my scientific bathroom scale to weigh everything. So here are the weights and the differences between stock to the airlift. In the rear, the airlift weighed in at 15.4 pounds for both. And then in the rear, the stock suspension was 20 pounds for both. So that's a difference of negative 4.6 pounds. So I'm down 4.6 pounds in the back. For the front, the airlift weighed in at 24.2 pounds for both of them. And then the front weighed in at 39.8 pounds. It's a difference of 15.6, down from stock. That's a total of, if my math is correct, 4.6 and 15.6 pounds. Should be 20.2 pounds less than stock, switching to the airlift struts. Cool. All right, so I also had the weights of the management and the false floor that I had put in. That came in at a negative 12.4 pounds because I had to remove stuff in the spare tire well. So taking out the stuff in the spare tire well and adding the airlift stuff, I actually came in at a negative 12.4 pounds. So add that weight to the weight that I lost by switching out the struts with bags. And that's a total weight loss of 32.6 pounds according to my bathroom scale. So for those people who are worried about the weight, I went down 30 pounds, so that's awesome.